Hello everyone, welcome to Servant of Christ Ministries. In today's short video, I would like to address the question, did Jesus Christ physically rise from the dead? And can it be demonstrated conclusively using scripture? Let me set the scene. The crucifixion of Jesus Christ had just taken place. His body was taken off of the cross and placed in a borrowed tomb. The tomb was sealed with a large stone and guarded by 2 Roman soldiers in order to prevent anyone from stealing the body of Jesus Christ. After 3 days and 3 nights, the tomb was found empty by his female followers, who believed the body to have been stolen. Later on that day in the evening, the disciples were gathered together and locked in a room to avoid being seized by the Jews. Suddenly, Jesus appeared among them and showed them the scars in his hands and side, and the disciples rejoiced, except one. Thomas was not with them when Jesus first revealed himself, and even though the disciples tried to recount everything that they had seen, Thomas didn't readily accept their testimony. In fact, Thomas makes the stern proclamation that he would not believe unless he physically sees and touches the imprint of the nails on Jesus' hands and places his finger into the side where Jesus was pierced by the Roman soldier. Now here are the 2 scriptures that demonstrate the physical nature of the resurrection of Jesus Christ. First, in John chapter 20 verses 27 through 29 it states, "Then he said to Thomas, 'Put your finger here and see my hands, and put out your hand and place it in my side. Do not disbelieve, but believe.' Thomas answered him, 'My Lord and my God.' Jesus said to him, 'Have you believed because you have seen me? Blessed are those who have not seen and yet have believed.'" Notice that Jesus Christ tells Thomas to put his finger and his hand out to touch Jesus in order for Thomas to physically experience the reality of his resurrection. He clearly refers to the physical nature of Thomas by referring to his finger and his hand. Thomas confirms the physical resurrection of Jesus by making the powerful statement, "My Lord and my God," when speaking to Jesus Christ, thus confirming that he had received the physical evidence that he asked for earlier. Second, in Luke chapter 24, verses 36 through 43 it states, "And they were talking about these things. Jesus himself stood among them and said to them, 'Peace to you.' But they were startled and frightened and thought that they had saw a spirit. And he said to them, 'Why are you troubled? And why do doubts arise in your hearts? See my hands and my feet, that it is I myself. Touch me and see, for a spirit does not have flesh and bones as you see that I have.' And when he had said this, he showed them his hands and his feet. And while they still disbelieved for joy and were marveling, he said to them, 'Have you anything here to eat?' They gave him a piece of broiled fish, and he took it and ate it before them." Notice here that the apostles thought that they had seen a spirit, but Jesus in these scriptures went out of his way to demonstrate that he wasn't a ghost or a spirit. He begins by telling them to touch him, which is a physical interaction. He then draws a difference between the spiritual and the physical by stating that a spirit or ghost does not possess physical attributes like flesh and bones. With all this evidence laid out before them, the apostles from utter shock were still in a state of disbelief. Therefore, as a final demonstration of his physicality, he asked them for something to eat. They give him some fish and he eats it before them, which means that Jesus had teeth, a tongue, an esophagus, and a stomach, just to mention a few of the anatomical body parts that were necessary to successfully consume food, thereby proving without a shadow of a doubt that Jesus Christ physically rose from the dead. I pray that this was helpful to you all. If you benefited from this video in any way, please be sure to leave a comment in the comment section below, or feel free to email me at servantofchristministries@gmail.com. And if you have any topics that you would like to see made into a video, please be sure to let me know via the comment section or by clicking on the links in the description box and communicating with me via Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. Until next time, God bless.